I bet you're spending 80% of your AI budget on 20% of the calls, and you have no idea which ones those actually are. That's okay. It happens simply because most observability tools, they don't really show you what is happening. They just show you the aggregated bill, right? You know that you spent 40% more this month, but you don't know why, which tool calls are actually to blame, or like what to change to optimize this. So in this video, I'm going to talk about just that. I'm going to show you a tool that dictates exactly which lines of code are generating these increased spends. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you how this same tool not only shows you these patterns, but also how to fix them. So let's get into it. I think the most important place to start is just defining terms, right? Making sure we're all on equal footing about exactly what's happening, what's causing this massive gap in observability, and what we can do about it, right? Because I'm sure you've all had that experience before where you launch an update or some new feature ships or something like that. Then later on down the line, you get a bill that is significantly higher than expected. But like by that point, it's way too late. You know what I mean? The bill's already tabulated and there's a problem. You can tell because your bill is over budget, but you can't tell exactly why, right? Token cost varies by provider, by model, and with the aggregated bill at the end of the month, you can't see exactly which line of code or which feature or whatever is actually causing that spike. Right. And that's just because our traditional tools that we have available don't monitor for that. They monitor for more traditional infrastructure stuff like CPU usage and memory and that sort of thing, and less so your API cost per call. So it leaves you in this weird middle zone where you know there's a problem, but you have no idea exactly what to fix or where to look even. Okay. So, I mean, the fix is simple in principle. You need to get in and fix those things before they launch into production. And that's where Frugal comes in. Frugal understands this problem deeply because they've lived it, and they're able to solve the problem and get ahead of the invoice by connecting data sources. They connect your OpenAI or Anthropic like cloud billing to traditional observability tools and the actual source code. And the biggest unlock there is they're able to accurately attribute cost to a specific line of code. And the big unlock there is you don't have to wait for the end of the month to figure out what's going on with the invoice, or you're not just breaking it down per provider or service, you're breaking this down per call, which unlocks real-time costing and lets you fix code before it gets pushed to production. Frugal calls this application cost engineering, and it has a massive impact on your bottom line. Some of the things that you can see in real time is if you're using an outdated, more expensive model, if your context window is super bloated on each call, thus costing more tokens, or if your prompt caching is absolutely broken. You can know that immediately and stop that, fix that before you push it out to production. But this is only one part of what you actually get with Frugal. Identifying the problem is fantastic, and it's a major unlock and something that we were lacking to date. But they also offer fixes to those problems, not just telling you where they lie, but how to solve them. That's the biggest single difference between Frugal and the traditional tools we've had access to date, is those are very good at telling you there's a problem. They're like, hey, this service is expensive, but that's where it ends. They don't tell you which code or how to change it or anything like that. So it winds up being a Jira ticket for an already overworked engineering team that they may or may not get to, on top of everything else they've got going on. So that is the exciting part about Frugal, is they review your code and automatically generate a pull request that not just fixes the code, offers the solution, but quantified cost savings that you can just review and merge. It's done for you. No stress. So I've got a little more to cover, but if you're already curious about how you can close the loop with Frugal, you can check out the link in the description and book a free demo at frugal.co, but we're going to keep going. I really wanted to talk about what this looks like in practice with a real world example. And one of the most expensive, most common patterns we see at Frugal is using an outdated, expensive model when a newer, smaller one can do the same task for a fraction of the cost. And that happens all the time. As you can imagine, you're shipping your AI feature, a couple months go by, and the next thing you know, a newer model can do it for extremely cheap. Same task, same quality, everything. So what Frugal does is it sweeps that code, it finds the expensive tool call, and then correlates that with other similar calls. And it can just swap that expensive model with the optimized model with a pull request that your team just reviews and launches. And it's not just like a suggestion, right? This is ready to implement. So your cost goes down immediately. You just review, implement, easy as that. It's already done for you. The benefit there isn't just reducing cost immediately, it's you're avoiding a bunch of unnecessary legwork with an engineering initiative to optimize or launching a patch or anything like that. It saves you on human resources as well, which is fantastic. The difference between seeing your AI spend and reducing your AI spend is where a lot of teams get super lost, right? Like, you know that the cost is a problem, but you don't know the code causing it. And by the time the bill comes and you want to bridge that gap, everybody's moved on. So that gap, that bridge, is specifically what Frugal was built to bridge, I guess. They track your AI spend down to the specific line of code, and they generate a fix as a pull request you can merge and implement today. So if you're building AI functions into your product, you can book a free demo as to how Frugal can bridge that gap for you at frugal.co. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this, and we'll catch you in the next one.